Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Well, no one's here yet. So, we are setting up and then we will crochet some granny squares. It is another granny square live. We are just, oh, there goes that little thing. Okay. Just setting up my tripod for vlogging purposes while we're live. There we go. Okay. Scissors here. Tripod here. Okay. Drink my juice. Because my blood sugar's low. Hook. Okay. Let's pick out some yarn to work with to start. This one, and this one to start out with. Because I only need to make 6 more mushroom granny squares and 6 more flower granny squares. So we will start with the mushroom granny squares tonight. And we are using Hirschner's worsted yarn. Worsted 8, worsted 3, and this little ball of white scraps that has sustained me through this entire thing. Right. Magic circle time. Magic circle, magic circle. Don't forget to double tap the screen to like the live and hit that subscribe button. Because I'm still saving up for down payment on a house, and every little bit helps. Make the algorithm like me. Please. Okay, there we go. See, these mushroom ones are the hard ones because there's color work involved. But the end result always looks super pretty, so... We're in the final push for this blanket, guys. The wedding is 2 months out. So, I was really on the struggle bus all this week, so I couldn't crochet for a whole week. Today's the first day I've actually been able to crochet because I pinched a nerve in my shoulder. What are you doing in front? You're supposed to be in back. So I'm moving a little slower than I'd like to lately, but hi, welcome to the live. Welcome, welcome, everybody. Here come the cats. Hi, Guinness. Kitties will be making an appearance pretty early in the live today, I think. That would be nice. Okay. A lot of little strands here when you're doing color work. Two. 3. 4. 5. Shoot. Forgot to crochet over the bit for the magic ring. Hold on. 2. There we go. 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Okay, doke. Okie dokie. Now, go and slip stitch. One, go. So, how was everybody's week? I had a long week. Family group text. Trucking along. I just need to make 6 more of these mushroom granny squares, 6 more flower ones, and 23 more regular ones. Right, there we go. Color work portion done, so I can snip this off. If you're just joining, don't forget to double tap the screen to like the live and hit that subscribe button. And the bell icon so y'all can be notified every time I post. We have lots of fun here. We are now reaching the square part of the granny square. So, I got accepted into the Yarnspirations affiliate program today. So keep an eye out for fun future stuff going on there. And this thing I'm doing right here, this is just a trick I use to weave in my ends. It makes it go faster and a little more secure. You just weave them in through the stitch using your crochet hook and then crochet over it. And again, don't forget to double tap the screen to like the live, and I hope you'll hang out and chat for a bit. And I really need to get some googly eyes so I know what to look at, because with my phone, the camera's up here, but with my tablet, where I'm live on, the camera's right here. Eye contact was never one of my strong suits. Here we go. Gotta film some tutorials for these granny squares as part of the big reveal when I finish the blanket. I'll make some tutorials for each different style of granny square that I used in this wedding blanket. I will probably film one of those tomorrow or sometime next weekend, because I still have a day job. I'm a teacher. And I teach year round, so yes. No, I don't get summers off. Everyone's like, oh, it must be nice to get summers off. No, girly pop. We go year round. Hi, Aaliyah. Welcome to the party. This week it's a My Shoulder's Better party. And it's a Granny Square Live. Probably one of the last Granny Square Lives. We are getting ever closer to finishing. Go. Glasses are covered in little baby fingerprints, so I cannot see a thing. Oh well. Oh, today's the first day since Sunday night that I've been able to crochet. It's been a very long week. Beautiful work. Thank you. It's pretty good to be crocheting again, because it's really boring just sitting there watching TV not crocheting. How long have you been crocheting? Since 1999. You learned a few years ago. That's cool. That's cool. YouTube has been a great resource for reviving the craft. Seems like everybody learned during the pandemic. I should have launched my YouTube career then. How long does a square take you? Aaliyah, you don't even crochet. This one takes about 15-20 minutes. Each one takes about 15-20 minutes. Tried twice. Okay. How'd you end up on Crochet YouTube? Moderating for everybody. What size hook are you using? I am using a 6mm hook right now. Yeah, we just started this square when the stream started 17 minutes ago, and we're about done. Yes, size 4 worsted weight. However, this is Hirschner's worsted yarn, so it runs just a smidge bit thinner than, say, Red Heart worsted. But only like a little bit. No, it's not quite a 3. But it's not like a full-fledged 4 either. It's 3.75. I don't know. Okay, first square of the night done. Woohoo! Cart here that I keep all my stuff in. Whip drawer. We'll worry about living in the ends later. All right, quick juice break. Thank you. Girl bossing too close to the sun. Yeah. That was me when I woke up Monday morning and with a pinched nerve in my shoulder. Now I'm on a lift restriction at work. And I couldn't crochet for a week because I couldn't maintain tension. Yeah, girl boss too hard. Isn't aging fun? Something always hurts. Soul of Trolls and her mug crew wasn't there. Ah. And now here you are with me too. Haha. But hey, you're a valuable resource to this community, Aaliyah. I had to postpone my weeknight live this week because I pinched a nerve. And then Wednesday night, hop up on this page, YouTube. Yes, we're on YouTube right now. This is my YouTube. But Wednesday, I was looking at houses because I'm still in the process of house hunting. And that process might be drawing to a close. Circle with the pine leaves. Yes. Yeah, this is also my YouTube channel. You can subscribe. I have all sorts of stuff. I posted a tutorial this week that I filmed before I hurt myself. That went up on Tuesday. I post a vlog every other week. I try to post shorts a couple times a week, but I didn't post any this past week because I, again, pinched a nerve and I was looking at houses and well, I think I mentioned it in Sarah's live the other night. I think I found one. So. Well, I'm still kind of waffling on it, but I keep going back to that listing and everyone around me is like, if you subscribe, thank you. And they're like, if you keep going back to that listing, it means you need to go for it. So I'm just seeing some final financial things in place. I'm going to go look at the house again, and then I'll probably put in an offer. Who knows if it'll even get accepted, though, because I'm going to lowball it, so I'm trying to not get too excited. But it's like, I think I found one, and I can afford it if I lowball it. But it's been on the market for like 2 months. So they'll probably take my lowball. So yeah, it's a small 125-year-old house. It's not too far from my job. It's only a half-hour drive. And even then it's only a half hour because windy mountain roads. But then I get to the highway and zip. It's fine. It's not a bad commute. Why the head covering? I am Eastern Orthodox, and some of us cover our hair for religious purposes. Also, I haven't had my hair done since like 2019, so it's too much to have out and about. It's like almost to my knees. I need to chop it off at some point. Mine is annoying, that's what it is. Yeah, it's very long. I haven't had a haircut since December of 2019. So. If you're just joining us, don't forget to double tap the screen to like the live and hit that subscribe button. I know I just mentioned, yes, the house hunting process is coming to a close, but I can still use a little extra help, so please make the algorithm like me. Do you do blankets, squares, or clothing? I do a little bit of everything except amigurumi. Well, the big plushy amigurumi. I can do traditional amigurumi. I don't like chenille yarn that much because I have very little feeling in my hands, so I need to be able to see my stitches. I can't go by feel. Yeah, they're so soft and I want to like them. I don't like working with them. Only one I ever really liked working with was Premier Parfait Chunky. But I don't like it so much that I go out of my way to buy it and work with it. I'm part of the affiliate program for Premier, so sometimes they send me samples of their yarn. And I like the Premier Parfait Chunky, but that's the only one that really works out for me. No, I love a good DK weight yarn, actually. Though I mostly work with and have. So squishy and hate working with it. It feels so soft. I just don't like working with it. But even though I mostly have worsted weight yarn in my stash, I love a good DK weight yarn. Love a good DK acrylic nylon blend. Or a nice soft cotton. Gotta say, those are my favorites. Boop, boop. Yeah, I started with worsted too. And I still mostly work with worsted, but I've got some nice DK weight yarn that I reach for. Which reminds me, I have another birthday present I gotta crochet. One of the babies in my class is turning 1. isn't too hard in comparison. It's a bit of a shock to the system if you've been working with worsted a lot. And it works up more slowly because it's thinner. So you'd be like, man, I've done like 30 rounds. Why is this so small? It's because it's DK weight yarn. And we just hit the half-hour mark, so don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't yet already and you've been here for a while. Please make the algorithm like me. I need it to like me. I am but an aged millennial trying to figure out modern day social media. Hi, Laura. Good to see you again. It's been a week. You always say you're technologically challenged. I'm modern technologically challenged. I was a wizard back in 2005. Then they added touchscreens, and now I don't know what I'm doing. Remember when all that was coming out? I'm like, what's an app? I know what software is. I don't want an app. I want software. And why is everything a subscription now? But yeah. No. And the stuff that is free robs you blind all your data. All right, second square, excuse me, done. Ta-da! 4 more of these to go, and then we're done. So I might not make all of them tonight. I'll save one to film a tutorial. Juice break. Mmm. Mmm. Grapey. All right. Remind you before. That's kind of the vibe I'm going for. I'm working on crochet granny squares for a king size blanket for my brother and my future sister-in-law. They're getting married in 2 months. There's only 2 months left. 2 months left until the wedding, 1 month left until my birthday, and it's a milestone, and I'm kind of like, ah. But they picked out the colors, and they wanted like a fall forest vibe. So, ask and ye shall receive. Cute baby. Maybe I'll save whatever yarn's left over to make a blanket for their future kids. I've been working on this blanket since about January. 2 spare squares? Maybe, yeah. But like I've said multiple times, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself when I finish this blanket because I've been working on it since January. Maybe I'll put up a suggestion box or something. What giant project should I work on for 2026? That isn't going to completely break the bank. Because, house. Buying. Process. Hi, welcome to the live. It's popping tonight. Feels like seeing everybody after a while away because I pinched a nerve and had to not do my usual Tuesday night live. Buying a house? Yeah, it's been hard. What are you making? We're working on granny squares tonight. Making a mushroom granny square right now. I think I'll make like this one and one more of it, and then we'll move on to the flower granny squares. And then we'll just start churning out regular granny squares until I'm ready to go to bed. Which the night is young, so we've got plenty of time. Finish the baby blanket. Yes, I did. And I gave it off to the little girl, and she was very happy. And I gotta think of another baby blanket to come up with because I have another baby in my class who's turning 1 soon. But I don't know, I might make her a little cardigan instead. Not sure. I'll worry about it in the morning when I'm done churning out granny squares. Do other crafts like sewing? I know how to sew, but I don't sew. Like I can stitch things together, fix a hole, and add a button, but that's about it. I also knit. I draw. I paint. I have a lot of hobbies. What will these granny squares be used for? They will be used for my brother's wedding blanket, and I completely forgot to crochet over those ends, so I get a frog and go back to carry them forward. It's fine. It's fine. I'm fine. you done cross stitching? A long time ago once, yeah. But I was a kid and it was just too tedious for me, so maybe someday I will return to it. Straight regular stitches. That's about all I can do. I can't do anything fancy, but I can knit, I can purl, I can work in the round to a point, but don't ask me to like make a sweater or something. Self-taught from book. Yep, same. I learned how to knit from some book that was published in the early 80s. Can you find to make them? I can't find the... Well, lucky for you, I have a tutorial. No, I don't know. I figured it out randomly when I was a kid because nobody ever actually taught me to crochet. I just got into my paternal grandmother's stuff after she died. She was a prolific crocheter. She's the one that made this blanket hanging up behind me back in the 70s. And I just kind of got into her stuff one day and figured everything out from there. And then YouTube tutorials started becoming a thing. Once they started letting regular people post longer than 10-minute videos. I just kind of figured it out from there. Here, let me jump on my phone to type, and I will have Nightbot link my magic circle tutorial in the chat. If I can find it. Jump into my own live stream. Woohoo! Chat. All right, Nightbot. There you go. There's the link to my magic circle. Yeah. I've got a playlist of a bunch of short tutorials, tips and tricks, and then I have one full tutorial for my flower coasters that came out earlier this week. And plenty of videos of my cats. Speaking of which, Guinness is under the table over there. He'll come up eventually. Right, we're at the 45-minute mark. So don't forget to like the live if you haven't already and subscribe. I have all sorts of fun stuff. I'm going to try and post tutorials at least once a month. I'm in the process of writing a beanie pattern. On top of teaching full-time, on top of house hunting, on top of running my business. on top of getting ready for my brother's wedding. And I have a market coming up soon. And then applications are being posted soon for a winter market I did last year close to Christmas, the next town over, that I did really well in, and they sent me an email saying, hey, applications are coming out soon. We'd love you to apply to come back. So we'll do that. Normally I've done a couple markets by this point this year, but I've just been so busy between YouTube and getting ready for my brother's wedding and house hunting. But things are starting to calm down. Found a house that I like. Just hustling up the last of that down payment. So like and subscribe. Make the algorithm like me. But ugh, gosh. And I've just suddenly gotten a huge craving for Chinese food. But I already had Chinese food earlier this week. I treated myself because I've been looking at a ton of houses and pinched nerve, so I'm still on a partial lift restriction and didn't feel like cooking. Well, I just got an alert. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Can't turn my head that much. Oh, God. Getting older sucks, guys. Remember to stretch. That was my mother. Oh, they went to the egg custard place without me. Rude. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Yes, I'm on a lift restriction at work, probably for another week or two. But at least I can crochet again. Remember to stretch, everybody. If you used to wear a glittery eyeshadow all the way up to your eyebrows, remember to stretch. Family group chat is popping tonight. No, this is the one with the extended family. Instead of just my parents, brother, and sister-in-law. Hi, Mom. I see you went to get duck egg custard without me. All right. Third one done. We just need 3 more of these bad boys. Woohoo! Yes, Mother. It's fine. We'll go next time I come up to visit. That juice break. That's good. That is good stuff. All right. We'll do one more mushroom and then move on to flowers. New temperature over there, right? Let's see where I am here in Pennsylvania. It is 77 degrees right now. Too hot. Might have to sleep on the couch tonight, which is annoying because the weather was so nice this past week, at least. Not for me and the medicines I'm on. Anything over 65 is too much. Makes me sweaty and cranky and miserable. Tricked Adonis into coming and get brushed. Ugh, stay safe. Michigan and it's 90. Ew. Found an amazing new greenhouse market up here. All right. Can't wait to come visit again. At some point. Red. How hot is it up in New York, Mom? Gotta stop bleeding like that. That's why my shoulder's been bugging me so much. I need to get like a Valari or a Boppy or something. Two, three, four, five. 6. Dad willingly turned on the ace. Oh boy, we're doomed. We're doomed. Dad willingly touched the radioactive sin box. I do know the code for 15% off. But like, I have so many Boppy pillows at work, I could just steal one for free. But the code for 15% off, but I could just steal one for free. I don't know. I'll worry about it later. See how I feel in the morning. Trying to get into a pack of Oreo. Cats can't even taste sweet, so you just must be doing it for the love of the game. which reminds me I need to get more TREATIES for the cats. Because Guinness's birthday is on Friday. Bought curtains with the sun porch, navy blue shears. Nice, nice, mommy. Pretty. Love a nice blue. Curtains are something I'm gonna have to buy someday. All these things about future impending home ownership, I'm like, ugh. What do you mean the dishwasher detergent doesn't magically refill itself? I mean, well, that one, no, that's not a good example because I already refill it myself. Like curtains, a tape measure. Yeah, sort of new. I've worn it a couple times. I don't think I've worn it on live before. Got it like 2 months ago. I think this is the first time I've worn this one on live where you've been here. Bought it from China. Thank you, mommy. I like it too. It's very soft. Here we go. Oh, Nightbot. I gotta remember I got accepted into the Yarnspirations affiliate marketing now, so I gotta put in another link. In the Nightbot rotation. Yay, yes, finally I am semi-sponsored by Red Heart, my love. Living the dream. No. I was a Red Heart girly before they were acquired by Yarnspirations. I still have some old catalogs laying around somewhere. I'll have to go digging for those. My one true yarn. My one true paid partnership. Now I just need them to pay me to crochet. Did you make the plushie? No, these aren't plushies. These are gnomes from Aldi, and this is an old Webkins I found that is cute. Oh, it still has the coat. Well, I think I know what I'm doing tomorrow. No, I don't make plushies. No, those are just cute decorations from Aldi that my mother bought me. As like a little vibe in the corner. If the website works. I mean, it should. Didn't Kelsey play Pizza Palace on there recently? Or am I blurring time again? I don't know. Webkins was my jam in middle school. I have a semi-extensive collection. I've got the little white platypus, and then over here, for the further vibe, I have two more that I found. I got a blue platypus, a pink platypus, and a white platypus. The whole family. But yeah, Webkins and Club Penguin were my jam in middle school. Miss Club Penguin. Plushies from the 2000s, yes. I wonder if they're still around. Like, I could swear I've seen them at the stores. When I venture into the toy section looking for stuff for my classroom. Yes, I found them, Mommy. When did you start crocheting? 1999. But Donna's lasted a long time. Well, glad you were able to brush him. Some wedding stuff going on in the family group chat over here. You're a Pixie Hollow girl. Heard of that one. I like Neopets, Webkins, and Club Penguin. Webkins and Club Penguin mostly. Neopets for the free HTML websites to code. That was my jam. It's the problem with internet these days. There's no places for kids like that anymore. I guarantee if they brought Club Penguin back, we wouldn't be having half as many problems with kids in schools as we were nowadays. Yeah, at least a little bit, yeah. You crochet the blanket behind you? No, my paternal grandmother crocheted this back in the 70s out of Red Heart Super Saver. And it still looks really good and has survived over 1,000 washes. So that's why I say don't come for me when I say I love Red Heart, because that blanket is like 50 plus years old. It will outlast us all. The nuclear apocalypse will come and that blanket will still be here. Wow, it's starting to get dark earlier again. Fall's coming! I'm so excited. Got my order in from Premier Yarns today of stuff for fall. I know, before everybody's like, aren't you on a yarn buying ban? I'm on a non-essential yarn buying ban. I needed to restock some things for fall. So I needed fall yarn. I needed more colors of cotton for fall things. Crochet fall blankets. Not really fall blankets. I'm not a huge... I crochet blankets for special occasions like babies and weddings. But I crochet a lot of fall hats and home decor and stuff like that. I know, you can check out my website to see some of the things I have for fall. I like making hats and beanies. And I got some stuff to make Halloween dishcloths. Because I have a really pretty Christmas dishcloth. On my website. Well, I think it's pretty. So I'm going to make the same thing, but in Halloween colors. Oh, look, Nightbot. Nightbot just posted it. smallpinecrafts.square.site. The link is in the chat. I have a bunch of fall stuff coming soon. I've been making more football team hats since football season starts up soon. Just don't tell the NFL. Just kidding, no. Just looking forward to your Christmas stuff. Awesome, I'm glad to hear it. I'm trying to think of more Christmas things because last year I kind of unleashed the Christmas reckoning. And I made so many different Christmas things that now I'm like, now I gotta think of all new Christmas things. I should have held back some ideas. But we'll figure it out. I found a pattern in a magazine that I really like that maybe I'll do some Christmas colors. It's a hand towel with a slit in it. So you can hang it up. I might make that. And then modify it a bit to my own standards, because you know I can never just follow a crochet pattern. I look at a pattern to find out if something is constructed, and then I go for it. You have to go by. Thank you for staying for a bit. Square number 4, done. All right, we made 4 mushroom squares, so let's move on to another kind of square. So I know I need 2 more mushroom squares to be able to finish the blanket, but I'm going to save those to make for a tutorial. So let's do flower. Regular? I was thinking flower, but no, you're right, Aaliyah. I should do regular. I should do regular. You are right, because they're the ones I actually need. 23 of them to be exact. But first, juice break. That's good stuff. All right. Regular granny square. So Leah's right. I need to be responsible. Yeah. And regular is the one that I ran out of last time we were live and doing granny squares. So regular it is. Regular is a little more mindless anyway, so I don't have to think too hard. My goodness, everybody is chatting it up. Oh, my dad got a suit and my sister-in-law is... Okay. He did not get the purple suit, so my sister-in-law can calm down. You could stay longer? Yay! It's fun. Yeah, we're just past the hour mark, so if you haven't yet, don't forget to double tap the screen to like the live and hit the subscribe button. And we have Yarn Bar coming. Gonna make me twitch. Hirschners, why? Why, Hirschners? Why? Why? For God's sake, why, Hirschners? Whatever, I only need a little bit for this. 2. No, that is not good. Lives are still hopping. Thank you. I try my best. 4. Oh, that's going to be a problem to deal with. Why, Hirschners, why? Hi, welcome to the live. Okay. Okay. We got to deal with this before we can do anything else. So, how do you make designs when you crochet? Very careful color work. I don't feel like paying. Jason, my brother just said, I'll deliver it to you. I don't feel like paying $1.50 postage. Only $1.50. I don't want to hear about postage costs. With the cost of shipping my orders out. Like, yes, I have people mostly pay for their own shipping, but I still have to eat some of the costs. Yeah, that's basically free in this economy. Anything less than $3 is free. We're just balling this tiny bit of yarn barf up because I don't feel like dealing with it later. So we're just gonna deal with it now. Yeah, $1.50 postage. I wish postage was only $1.50. And I really don't want to increase my... And I really don't want to increase my shipping costs. Because right now, I have it set by weight and square. So it's $5 for the first pound, and then an additional $2 for every pound after for shipping in the United States, the continental, contiguous United States. That's the word I wanted, contiguous. It's $5 for the first pound, and then an additional $2 for everything else. But so if you order like 5 scrubbies, it's still only $5 shipping. But if you order like 5 scrubbies and like 30 hats, it's going to cost more. And then for outlying US, so like Puerto Rico and Alaska and Hawaii and all our other various territorial holdings. Starts at $7 plus an additional $2 for every pound. And then I think I max it out at a certain amount before I'm like, all right, you need to split this order up because I can't fit like a 30-pound package in my mailbox. Because I do not like going to the post office in my town. It has a very tiny parking lot, and it's always incredibly crowded, and traffic is always horrible. So all my orders I just shove into my mailbox at home. I just stuff them in there. Live in the UK, I've just found my channel and subscribe. Thank you. Yeah, we'll get back to crocheting in a minute. We had some yarn barf that I had to deal with. And we're almost done dealing with it. And then we'll go back to making my granny squares. But first, we had to deal with this tangle. Excuse me. All right. Dealt with. I'll probably wind the rest of that up in the morning. I was doing quite a bit of yarn winding this morning, putting stuff. I was trying to organize my crafting area a bit. And I have like a lot of these loose random floppy skeins laying around, so I just grabbed a ton of them and started winding them into cakes. And I dealt with a lot of my scrap yarn today. I did it all off camera because I thought, oh, let's film a vlog about organizing my scrap yarn, but then I saw the extent and I was like, there's going to be way too much swearing involved in this for me to be able to make a vlog. So we're just going to do it off camera. And I managed to squish about 90% of my scrap yarn into one big tote container. And then I had to stack things on top of it to keep the lid on because it was about ready to pop. Now I've got most of my scraps in one big box. Alright, that end is woven in. Let's keep going. And don't forget to double tap the screen to like the live and hit that subscribe button. Please make the algorithm like me, so that YouTube will pay me so I can put in a bigger down payment on the house I like. Pretty please. We're just weaving this end in here. If you're new here, I always weave my ends in this way, so that when I'm done, I can just snip them all off at the end. It's way, way better. Trying to get an order ready for Monday. That's fine, Laura. I'm happy to be your background noise. My weird ramblings. All right, we're off to the races. Oh yeah, shoot. At some point tonight I have to edit a short that I wanted to post tomorrow, because I try to post 2 to 3 short form contents. Short form contents. What is my life becoming? Try to post 2 to 3 short form contents a week, but I was bad this week because I had a pinched nerve. And, well, you can edit video footage with a pinched nerve. No, because this is my video editing arm, and this was the nerve that was pinched, because it was like from right here all the way down to my elbow. And this is where I reveal that I am not right-handed. You didn't think that you were. Nope, I'm not right-handed. I use my right hand for crocheting because that's how I learned, but I'm actually ambidextrous. I don't have a dominant hand. Here's proof. Here's my left hand. Scissors keep getting caught. Yep, y'all heard it here first, folks. I am actually ambidextrous. So I use both of them pretty equally. So I do like all my computer stuff with my left hand, and I clean stuff with my left hand, and I carry things with my left hand. And I write sometimes with my left hand, but I crochet with my right hand. I cut things with my right hand. I chop with my right hand when I'm cooking. Yes, that was a fun story. Had him convinced I was a witch. It was one of those lecture classes I had in college where you had to take notes like a stenographer if you wanted to pass. And I always sat up front in that class. Usually I was one of the back of the class dwellers, but in this one I sat up front because it was really interesting. And he was going on and on and on and on and on, and I was like with my hand, and my right hand was getting really tired and crampy. So then I went and switched to my left hand, and he stopped mid-lecture and was just like, completely derailed the lecture, the entire lecture, because he was like baffled that I had switched hands. I mean, my handwriting isn't as good with my left hand, just because when I was in school, they're like, "Oh, you're right-handed. Use your right hand." I'm like, "Well, I'm not actually right-handed, but okay." as I've gotten older, I've split my hands more evenly, which ones I use. I still only like crochet and knit with my right hand, but I'll swap between the two for everything else. Every time I did that as a kid, everybody would get like freaked out or something. Like when I was in middle school, it was a whole thing. And they were like doing something, learning about making charts and graphs and data, and they were like, okay, everyone that is right-handed, go to this side of the room. Everyone that's left-handed, go to this side of the room. And I'd be standing there in the middle like, I'm neither. And they'd be like, no, you have to have one. And I'm like, all right, let me show you. So I put out a piece of paper and I wrote with my right hand, and then I wrote with my left hand, and they're like, well, you need to pick one. And I'm like, but I'm not right-handed or left-handed. I am a secret third thing. And then they got mad when I went to the left-handed people side of the room. Like, no, you primarily use your right hand when you're writing here. I'm like, yeah. But you told me to pick one because I can't be both. So, yeah. I didn't get any video editing done because my left arm was out of commission, and that is my computer arm. My computer and phone arm. And my tension arm. And we just hit the hour-and-a-half mark, and we are on Granny Square number 5. So if you haven't yet, please like the live. 5 and live sound the same. You can tell I'm a teacher. And I hear little kitty claws in the kitchen above me. It's either Rocky or Guinness. Probably Guinness, based on the clickiness, because he's got the longer claws. These are right-handed scissors, that's why they didn't want to cut. Stupid. Why do scissors have to have a hand? That's what I always want to know. You be lurking? Okay, have fun, Mama. Enjoy your dinner. One loop has to be bigger than the other. True. But these ones are the same. Close box, put the label on it. Yay! God, I remember in home ec sewing class, teacher got so mad at me because I was using the left-handed scissors one day. And she was like, you need to save those. Really, as one looks bigger? They look the same to me. They're a bird. Like, I can understand for like fabric scissors having different size loops, but these are embroidery scissors. Right, last round of this square, and then we'll do another one. Making progress. But yeah, I just remember there were no right-handed scissors left in the class that day. So I grabbed the left-handed ones because they were the last pair, and well, I'm ambidextrous, so it doesn't matter which pair of scissors I use. My hands, I can effectively use both of them. And the teacher got mad at me for using the left-handed scissors. I'm like, they're scissors. She's like, you need to save those for the left-handed kids. I'm like, do you see a single left-handed person currently in this room? There are none. And guess what? I can use both. I'm not right-handed, so I should be allowed to use the left-handed scissors. It's like they could not comprehend it. It was so frustrating. At least it wasn't like my uncle back when he was growing up. If you used your left hand, they literally tied. My uncle's left-handed, and they literally would tie his hand behind his back when he was in school to force him to use his right hand. So at least they didn't do that to me, but like, it's a hand. Why does it matter which one I use? There's no law. There's no rule. I remember distinctly thinking, I'm like, it's the early 2000s. Being ambidextrous or left-handed is not a sign of witchcraft. You should have figured it out by now. So leave me alone and let me use the left-handed scissors in peace. I say as I crochet with my right hand. It's the beauty of being ambidextrous. You don't have a dominant hand. They both work equally. My handwriting is terrible no matter which hand I use. Here we go. We are about done with this square. Where are your babies tonight? Question, where are the little ones? Let's see, last I saw Rocky, he was melting on the floor upstairs. I think Guinness was just munching on something in the kitchen, and I last saw Zuzu when I gave them their dinner. Hello. I'm sure they'll be around at some point. Guinness was just walking back and forth on the floor here, but he didn't feel like coming up. It's getting warm again here, and they're not the cuddliest when they're hot, and I don't have the air conditioner running, so I'll probably turn those on tonight if it's too hot. So, but yeah. I guarantee you Zuzu's probably asleep in one of the closets upstairs. Next Saturday, we'll have to bring out the TREATIES again. This Friday is Guinness's birthday. He's going to be 15. So we'll have to break out the party hat again. Hear a weird noise. Hold on. No BRB. Don't phone out me. Okay, I'm back. My mother is calling. Hold on. Hi, I'm still alive. Hello? Hi, I'm still alive. Oh, well, I can tell the live now. Neighbor kid outside is having a meltdown. So all is fine. All right. Bye. I'm back. Yes, Laura, everything's okay. One of the kids that lives in my neighborhood is having a meltdown outside. Everything's fine. And I found the boys. They were sleeping on the couch upstairs. So. It's all good. It's all good. Well, not for the poor kid having a meltdown, but I know she has some issues, so happens occasionally. It's probably because she doesn't want to go inside. Because it's 8:45. And I know she loves to be outside. And I'm just not used to her melting down this early in the night, I guess, because the sun's gone down. We're all good. We're all good. I don't know what I would have done with these if it was an actual problem, but I mean, I know how to fight. Yeah, that's usually what it is. Kid is always outside. Let me tell you, as soon as that sun is up, she's outside running around, having a grand old time. Now that it's getting dark earlier, we just go in earlier. So, I mean, you can't be outside in my neighborhood playing in the dark. Not with how people come whipping down the street. She just hasn't hit that pitch that set my teacher senses off in a while. Normally she just kind of hollers, but this was like a really high pitched. So. Oh, me too. I remember me too. There were some nights Dad would have to haul me in kicking and screaming. So. Now I don't mind outside as long as the weather's not bad, but like if it's soupy out, I'll stay in the air conditioning. Your school start up. Yeah, they are starting up soon. I don't know exactly when. Since my school, we have our own schedule, so don't necessarily follow the local school district. I know it's kind of weird because the way Pennsylvania is, you've got your city and then there's nothing. And that's pretty much how it is in my part of Pennsylvania. Anything outside of Philly, it's like city and then absolutely nothing. And my town is surrounded by absolutely nothing. And there's a huge fair going that happens close to this time of year. And I'm in a fairly major agricultural area, and it's like the big county fair. People are showing livestock. It's a whole shebang. And it's always like the last bit of August. So all the surrounding school districts in my town don't go back until after Labor Day. But back when I was a kid, my local school district decided one year that we are no longer a rural suburban school district. We are an urban school district. We are not going to be beholden to this agricultural calendar, and decided to start going back mid-August. And then something like 75% of the kids didn't show up until after Labor Day because they were all working this livestock fair with their family farms. And non-agricultural people that did live in the city, because we're like, well, we're going to stay home out of solidarity. How close are you to the Amish community? Right in the middle of it all. So they're like, even the people that aren't farming are at this fair. Because, there's something for everybody there. Now, I've never gone because it's outside in Pennsylvania in August, which, no. Absolutely not. But so all the surrounding school districts don't go back until after this fair, because all the kids are working this fair with their families, showing their livestock and their crops and everything. But my school district decided to get all hoity-toity and be like, we are an urban area now, so we're not going to be beholden to this bunch of country bumpkins. Y'all are going to school mid-August. And then the 75% of students that are in the major agriculture area, because we are not an urban school district, we're like, see you after Labor Day. And all the other school districts in the county are like, yeah, no, we're not going back until after this fair. Yeah, we don't get out until the end of June, but, well, it's the fair. It's the fair. So my local school district is one dot going back mid-August. Everyone else is like, September's fine. So I do believe my local school district is going back soon, but the rest of them aren't going back until after Labor Day. And then there's my school, private school, year-round, and we're like, fair, ha 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 ha. No. Well, we do drop down in kids and stuff. It's a slow time, because a lot of them go to the fair. Because again, all right, okay, town, you may want to think you're an urban area, but you're not. You ain't urban. Okay, yeah, you've got your big city lights, but there is a cow in the parking lot. You ain't urban. There's Amish people outside. You're not urban. So. But I do think that my local school district, they are going back soon, but they're going back later than they used to. Because they pivoted to super early August that time, and I remember We didn't go. So school didn't actually start until after Labor Day. But yeah, so they're starting to correct for it. So the local schools, I think they're still going back before Labor Day, but they're not going back till late August. Yeah, I remember when school would start after Labor Day. I mean, yes, I work for a year-round school now, and I think we should adopt a more year-round model, but not like the year-round model my school has, where we get like 1 week at Christmas and that's it. We get a week at Christmas, a week at spring break, and 4th of July. That's about it. But I think like schools should in the US should adopt like 2 months on, 1 month off. Or something like that. Because much as I hate to admit it, yes, that big long break in the summer, yeah, kids like it, but and teachers like it, yes, but there is a lot of learning loss that happens during that time. So I feel like maybe if we adopted something like the Japanese model, not the amount of pressure in the Japanese model, but like couple weeks on, week off, couple weeks on, week off, or 2 weeks off. It would be more consistency for kids. Because I remember even as I was a kid, I hated summer break. So up until I was a teenager, I did educational summer camps because I don't do well without routine. Like, obviously, yes, I need a break sometimes, but after, I can usually handle about 2 weeks off my routine and then things start getting weird. So I did educational summer camps. Most you lost was math, but you were reading a lot. Yeah. Well, that was more typical back when you're what? Early 20s? That would be more typical back when you were younger and when I was younger. Kids still like read books and stuff over the summer, but now they just sit on their iPads. I usually lost what little math I knew. But we traveled a lot during the summer when I was a kid, which gave me stuff to do, and I did educational summer camps during the weekdays until I was a teenager. You could get free middle grade, but well, that's good. So, but yeah, 2 weeks is my limit before I start getting weird. So, even with my day job, the most biggest block of time I'll take off in one go is 2 weeks. Because then I get bored, I miss my routine. I have to keep busy. So. It's like growing up, I hated school, but I liked the routine. And then high school, I went to alternative high school. And then I liked school again. And then I went to college, and I liked college. I don't ever want to go back to college. I don't ever want to go back to school, but I liked college. I had a good experience. But now people are like, oh, do you want to go back and get your master's? I'm like, no. And they're like, oh, do you want to get a different degree? No. Some people rag on me because they're like, well, you got a creative writing degree. What use is that? Teaching. Because in the state of Pennsylvania, you can teach at private school without an education degree as long as you can pass a background check. And I didn't intend to start teaching. It's just that the school I work at now is the only place that called me back when I was looking for jobs for after graduation, and I've been there ever since, and going into my 8th school year with them. And all the babies in my class excel in early literacy. So, no, I don't feel like going back and getting my master's. I don't need it. And I like clocking out at the end of the day and going home and not needing to write a paper. I clock out of teaching at the end of the day, and then I clock into crocheting and YouTube. Got a good thing going. So, yeah. These squares have just been flying this evening. My goodness. And we just hit the 2-hour mark, so don't forget to double tap the screen to like the live if you haven't yet already, and subscribe if you haven't yet already. Number are you in the squares? Good question, Laura. Let me see. I have made so far one regular granny square tonight, and 4 mushroom granny squares. So this will be square number 6 of the night. And then we'll start square number 7. And it's only 9 o'clock, little after 9 o'clock. The night is young. I took a good nap earlier. 6. Thank you, Aaliyah. So, we got time to keep going and keep working. You almost said 7. Yeah. I almost thought 7 too, but then I'm like, wait, no, I definitely have not made any more regular squares. Right. Square number 6, done. So I only need 21 more regular squares. Woo! All right, juice break. Juice. That is good. Grapey. All right. Let's make another regular granny square. I definitely need to make a bunch of these, so. I think we'll just make regular squares for the rest of the night. Maybe I can be convinced to make one flower one, but. And I think after tonight, tomorrow will be a weave in the ends and block the squares day. And then it's going to be a shorts filming and editing day. Because I've been bad about filming shorts because I pinched a nerve. And I need to film some shorts. Because my analytics on TikTok and Instagram have dropped after not posting anything this week. And I got to think of what I want my September tutorial to be. Thinking maybe my mushroom coasters. I'll make a mushroom coaster tutorial for September. So I know October I'm going to do the granny squares leading up to the wedding as part of like the grand finale of the granny square blanket. So we got to celebrate that. Because all these years of crocheting, I've never made a king size blanket before. Biggest I've made is like throw blankets. So this is definitely going to be an achievement. So I'm going to do the granny squares leading up to the wedding. And then I definitely want to do my ghost hat tutorial. A tutorial for my ghost hat for Halloween this year. Because that thing's just cute. And then I want to have my beanie pattern written and a tutorial to go with it by November. And then Vlogmas. So now I'm starting to wonder if I should do Vlogmas because I might be closing on a house and moving. And working full time. And doing markets. But like doing Vlogmas would be probably just the push I need to tip me into being able to monetize. Don't know. You made 15 squares for donation. They're gonna make blankets and scarves with squares. That's so cool. That is pretty cool, Laura. Yeah, I like seeing all the things made out of granny squares. But yes. I'm just really hoping I didn't bite off more than I can chew for the burr months. Because if I decide to buy this house and I put in the offer and they accept the offer, because I'm doing a lowball offer, I'd be closing on the house like right after the wedding. And that's a process and a half. Staying in town? Not quite. I'm keeping my job in town. But I'm moving out of the immediate area because the cost of living in my town, where I've lived my whole life, has just, it's changed way too much since I was a kid. Population has grown a lot since I was a kid, and I know the school district going, we're an urban school district now. It is pretty urbanized now. But like the costs and everything, but nothing else. The resources haven't caught up and everything. And the taxes are really high. And part of the reason I'm buying a house instead of renting an apartment is because no rent in my area includes utilities anymore. And last I looked, because sometimes I've always looked, kind of, since I moved back to the area after college, the rent for like a 1-bedroom around here is $1,500 a month, $2,000 a month, and does not include utilities. And at that rate, a mortgage in the surrounding towns is cheaper. Because I cannot afford $1,500 a month rent. If it's not going to include anything. But I can afford a mortgage on a small house in one of the other towns. So I'm staying near my job, but I'm moving out of this town into one of the surrounding areas. Which one of them? Well, they're all not bad. And I mean, everybody in those small towns commutes into my town for work anyway, so it doesn't matter. The house I'm interested in that I do want to potentially put an offer in on, it's about a 30-minute drive from my job, but it's not far. It's just traffic and windy mountain roads. you going to try the kelp hat tutorial? I might. I've thought about it. I watched it. It's a cool hat. I'll probably stick it on the list of projects to try. I might do it with acrylic yarn and make some fun hats for Halloween and Christmas using the pattern. Because it's a lovely hat pattern. But of course I would have to make some modifications because, again, I never follow patterns. The only patterns I follow exactly are knitting patterns, I have realized, because, well, I don't really know. I don't know as much about knitting as I do crocheting. So every crochet pattern I've ever encountered, it ends up becoming so warped by my own additions that it's like entirely a new thing. But I would like to try it, maybe. I'll think about it, definitely, because it's cool. Thinking back and changing up the pattern. Yeah. I always change up patterns. Well, that, and I don't like using turning chains. I prefer stacked single crochets. Or chain one and then do the stitch. It just makes the edges look cleaner, per se. I remember when I first Passionate Kelsey tutorial I ever watched, and she's like, okay, here's how to do a stacked single crochet, and I was like, oh, so that's what that's called. But yeah, I'll add it to the list. Maybe I'll make some kelp bucket hats for Christmas for my aunt, because she really likes bucket hats. And I mean, since I am saving money to buy this house, everybody's getting handmade this year. Everybody's getting something scrappy and handmade. Except maybe like immediate family, I'll buy them something, but everyone else, you get a scrappy scarf, you get a scrappy scarf, you get a scrappy scarf, everybody gets a scrappy scarf. Because I'm only buying yarn for business needs until I have bought a house. Which will be happening sooner rather than later, and then once I'm stable and settled, the yarn buying can begin again. But I've got plenty of yarn that I can get through making everybody in my list something for Christmas and not have to buy any yarn. I've got a pretty healthy stash right now that I'm happy with. Well, for the most part, I'm gonna need more orange yarn at some point. Just because I'm going into fall mode, and I never really realized how much orange I use until I was going through my scraps yarn this morning. And I'm like, I have like no orange scraps. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's because it all gets used up. Like all my orange scraps that I do have end up getting tied back on to the same yarn. That would be fun though, maybe. That would be a fun video. What color yarn do I use the most? Because I already know I use acrylic yarn the most. But what color? I'd have to go through all my items and sort them by color, put it into an Excel document. And then another one, which hook size do I use the most? I think I use 5mm the most, either 5 or 6. I'd have to go through my pattern notebook to see. Wow, that scarf really, not scarf. That square, words are hard, really flew by. Yes, I said scarf when I meant to say square. I'm tired. That's when you're distracted. We're distracted. Yes, you do. I'm not sitting here alone with my thoughts. Like, should I buy that house? Or should I gamble and wait until another one comes on the market? Because I don't have to actually move until next summer. But I like to be hyper prepared. So I'm like, do I want to gamble? Or do I want to get this perfectly good house? And I'm leaning more towards buying this perfectly good house. Because it's in my budget. Yeah, it's outside of the local school district, so the taxes are so much lower. It's not a bad drive to my work. And like, I don't mind long drives after working because it's like a whole stretch of time where nobody needs anything from me. All I have to focus on is driving safely. I don't have to focus on like a herd of children all scattered in different directions. Nobody's touching me. Nobody needs anything from me. And there's no homeowners association. It backs right up to an elementary school, so it's a priority for maintenance on the road in the wintertime. And I mean, when I first went and looked at it, I looked in the neighborhood. There were kids outside playing and riding their bikes in the street, and the neighbors had a pool, and there were people hanging out at their pool. And I'm like, should I go for it, or do I just want to go for it because I don't want to gamble? I know my mom is telling me, like, oh, trust your gut. And I'm like, I can't trust my gut. I have an anxiety disorder. I mean, the only thing that's really quote unquote wrong with it is that it's 125 years old, so it has all the quirks of a 125-year-old house. So it's got stairs that I'm kind of afraid I might die on. And a bit of a creepy basement. So I thought my basement I had now was unfinished. No. That is a white upper middle class finished basement with a pool table compared to the basements of all the houses I've looked at. Oh, it was pretty creaky when I looked at it, but not like in a structurally unsound kind of way, but in a this house is 125 years old kind of way. Which, I mean, house I live in now is 60 something years old and it's pretty creaky. Basically, yes, I'm like, Mom, tell me what to do. And she's like, well, you gotta go with your gut. I can't tell you this one. I'm like, Mom! What about the plumbing? Did it work? Oh, yeah! Plumbing worked just fine. The basement was creepy, but, like, maintained. It was very unfinished. It's a hole in the ground, but it at least had a stone floor instead of dirt, unlike most of the other houses I've looked at who had dirt floor basements. Like, it had modern electrical, modern plumbing, modern wiring, really good cell signal. Small lot, so I don't have a lot of yard I'd have to maintain. Short driveway, so I don't have a lot I'd have to dig out in the winter. The more I'm sitting here talking about it, the more I want to just go for it. Call my realtor Monday morning and be like, let's do it. But, like, it's not a unique house. Like, 125-year-old houses that look exactly like it are a dime a dozen around here once you get to the surrounding areas. So, like, do I buy this one or do I gamble and wait and see if one maybe 10 minutes closer pops up? I don't know, because I don't like gambling. I'm already over my scratchy ticket problem. More lore. Alright, finished another square. Let's do another one. God, I don't know. When did these lives become like free therapy for myself? I'm literally just sitting here alone in my family room talking. Mostly to myself, but then y'all chat. I don't know, man. You're so pretty. Okay, thank you. Guys, hold on a second. I really need a glass of water. You're crocheting too? That's awesome. I will be right back. Like 30 seconds. I really need a glass of water and to go blow my nose because I am so congested. BRB. Don't parties without me. rock star. Okay, I'm coming back. Anyway. You have no idea. You're just glad to be here, Leah. How's your dog? I am Rock, and Rocky is at my feet. Hello, Rocky. You gonna hop up and claw me half to death like you did earlier? Because you need your claws trimmed. So bad. Gosh, when Sarah's tired, her Long Island comes out. When I'm tired, my weird mix of New York and Central Pennsylvania comes out. Doing well being himself. That's good. Oh, Rocky went back upstairs. I'll know when it's bedtime when all three of them are standing here staring at me and they'll be like, go to bed. It's our turn to get the house. Oh, and the other thing with house hunting that I'm realizing is that I gotta sort out custody of the cats with my parents. This dog much less talking about it. Psst. Yeah. Dogs don't get up to as many shenanigans as cats do. Dogs don't go on top of the refrigerator and break into the cabinets. They do when they're raised by cats. True, but it's not exactly common not too common for a puppy to be raised by cats. Dogs have owners, cats have staff. Exactly. Yes, dogs raised by cats are hilarious. I saw once there was this husky online when I was in college that was raised by cats, and it was hilarious. Temporary substitute for my mother. Adonis is not happy that the main boss has been reinstated. Ah. gosh, which square number are we even on right now? Made a bunch tonight. Good progress. Seven, eight. The cat dragging a puppy. I know I've definitely seen a video of a cat dragging a puppy. 7, 8 maybe. Okay, let's count real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A good number. So that's how many blocking mats I have. I'm probably going to hit up Michael's at some point this week, because I need stuff for the craft show, and then I have a coupon that I'm going to use, and I'm going to finally buy some more blocking mats from them if they have them, because, yeah. Hi, Zuzu. Nope, not going to appear on camera, but she's going to stare at me. Zuzu. Brrr, Zuzu. Hi, baby girl. Oh, she sees a bug. Get it, you mighty hunter. My girl cat. Ooh, what an elegant leap. Right. Next color. 2.5 hour mark. Like the live if you haven't yet. Subscribe. No one has paid their dues. No, they haven't. I thought Rocky would when I came back down, but then he walked away. I'm going to have to go grab one of them off the couch. But I really don't feel like being sliced to ribbons. What you doing, Zubing? No, they have not been paying their rent tonight. Reminds me, I gotta go to the pet store tomorrow. Gotta get food and more you-know-whats. Who's coming? It's a Rocky. I mean, Rocky did pay his dues earlier and that he sat on my lap and posed for some cute shorts. So I've got the next few catter days all sorted. Because I try to pre-record as much content as possible in advance. Because I don't like being in situations like this past week where I had nothing to post because I had a pinched nerve. So the algorithm doesn't like me as much this week. But Rocky wanted to be a star this morning, so I've got some cat videos ready to go for the next few weeks. Because Saturdays are for posting the cats. Catterday. Hello, welcome to the live. I do hope you're having a good evening. And I hope that you'll stay and hang out for a bit. Got a fun little community starting here. What is she doing? I'm making sure. I am working on granny squares right now. I have been working on a blanket all year as a wedding gift for my brother. And we're in the final stages. We've just got a few more squares to make and block, and then put them all together and we will have a blanket. Rocky, what do you hear? Oh, he's butt wiggling. Hey, Rock. Hey, Zuzu. No, don't you start. You leave him alone. These two. She tries to jump Rocky and then gets offended when he wrestles her back. I'm like, girlie, you started it. You can't be mad when you hit people and they hit back. Yes. Hi, Rocky. Oh, he wants to go in the bucket. I have the yarn in again. I swear, next time these buckets at Michael's go on sale, I'm buying one just for you, Rocky. Maybe I'll go to Michael's tomorrow when I have other errands to run. The donuts in blue. Yup. No, I shouldn't go to Michael's tomorrow because then I'll end up impulse buying a bunch of stuff that I don't need when I should be saving money. The only place I need to go tomorrow is the pet store and the gas station. Yarn has, it does. And I'm on a semi-yarn buying, I'm on a non-essential yarn buying ban. Because I'm trying to buy a house. So if I don't need it to restock something on my website, I'm not buying it. Or if I'm due to make a new design and I need it, then I'll allow it, but check the stash first, because I do have some new baby hats I'm gonna have. Don't forget the orange, yes. Orange yarn, just immediate. Add to cart, add to cart, add to cart, add to cart. I do have a new design I want to release for the fall. Because there's I have my standard beanie pattern, and I make a bunch of different kinds of beanies with that. Like my Pennsylvania beanies, my orange beanies, my small pine beanies, my fall beanies. Also, say more yarn than the store. Yeah. Got my own little yarn shop going on here. But I always say about my yarn stash, I'm like, hey, I didn't even buy half of it because people just give me yarn. Like, I think I've told this story on live once about a parent just walked into my classroom one day. I had never met this parent before. They were down, their kid was in class on the opposite side of the building. They just walked in, give me yarn, left me a bag of yarn and left. I'm like, I don't know who you are, but like, I'm collectively known as the yarn lady at school, so people just give me yarn. So you can't even rag on my yarn stash being too much spending, because I'm like, no, it's not. I didn't buy all of this. I've acquired most of it through other means. And yes, Michael's doesn't have that much yarn to begin with. Michael's has always been hobby craft, never fiber craft. Joanne's was fiber craft. And I miss Joanne's. But I have my standard beanies, but they come in 3 sizes. But I got an idea to shrink it down even more and make like a newborn baby size. Because like I have a baby size, but it's more for like a 3 to 6 month old baby. But I want to shrink it even further down to make some newborn hats to sell. Yeah, Premiere and my Lion Brand being online. You like feeling it? Yes, I totally get it. Yeah. So, Premiere, you usually get a good... Yeah, everything I've ever used from Premiere, I've always been happy with, so... I generally trust whatever they put out. And if you like Premiere, I have an affiliate link. But yeah, Lion Brand, I know their stuff is all over the place, but like in a good way. They just have so many different kinds. I haven't bought from Lion Brand in a long time. I was really into their mystery boxes 2 summers ago. But it's like every Lion Brand yarn that I like ends up getting discontinued. Like the Ice Cream Roving. Loved that one. Discontinued. Nubu. Discontinued. Complete Lion Brand. Why? Alright. Square number 8 of the night. Done. Woohoo. That is 4 mushroom, 4 regular. Do I want to do a flower one, or should I just keep doing regular, since those are the ones that I need so many of? Screw it, we'll do regular. one thing about being the sole proprietor of my business is that I get to make all the decisions. Like, yes, I can ask chat what I should do, but if I don't like what chat tells me, I can be like, I'm overriding that. Love it when the YouTube app recommends me my own videos. Which longer are you going to be on? What time is it? When I finish this square, I'm gonna get off. Because I'm tired. And it's 9:50. And I still have a video I need to edit to post tomorrow. Well, finish editing. I was laying on the couch editing the video. It's a short. I'll show you a sneak peek of what's coming to my shop at the end of August. Of one of the things. A swirly hat for a certain Pennsylvania football team. Ooh, yes, I filmed a short of me making this today. And I really like it. The ends aren't woven in yet, but put this on my severed head. Yeah, I'm gonna make a bunch of, because like I have the Pennsylvania beanies in the same colors for Philly, Pittsburgh, and Central Pennsylvania. But I've only ever had the beanies, and then I was like randomly earlier this week, I was like, nothing's stopping me from making swirly hats and striped hats in the same colors. So I started with the swirly hat. So you don't go out after 10 and we've been on roll. Yeah. I think there was the one time I went till, the last time I did granny squares when I was filming that, how many granny squares in a day? We went until 11. And then I slept until 10 a.m. the next day and didn't film the outro for several days. And then as I was editing it, I saw how short the video was, so I added in a whole thing of me blocking the granny squares as well. But yeah, we will finish this one and then go to bed. Because I still have to finish editing that video. Because I filmed a short of me crocheting that hat. And then I started editing it while laying on the couch, and then I fell asleep. So, when we get off live, I'm gonna finishing editing that, because I mean, yeah, I could edit it on live, but you'd just be sit here watching me going on my phone, because it's a short. So I edit it in the Instagram app, or well, edits. They separated that all out, but it's free, so. Yeah, I'll do that, set it to upload sometime tomorrow morning, and then go to bed. And then film one for each of the other colors. To fully round out the Pennsylvania sports team collection. Because I've also got scrubbies in the sports team colors. I've got ear warmers in the sports team colors. Now I'll have swirly hats and striped hats. But there's no logos on them, and I don't say what. Oh, there's a cat. It's a Zuzu. It was a Zuzu. You were caught. Did y'all see her up there? Well, she was the one to pay the dues today, huh? It was Zuzu. Got to think of other Pennsylvania things to make in those sports team colors, because I've got the scrubbies. Got going to have multiple kinds of hats. I'm going to have ear warmers. Got beanies. What else could I make? We're going to set this down in the bucket where I store it. Hockey teams, maybe. I would love to make some gritty merch. But I don't know what I would call it. Because the way I've separated each one out is, by the way, in Pennsylvania you say you all. Because out in the Pittsburgh area you say yins. In the Philly area you say yous. And then in central Pennsylvania, since that's basically Alabama, we go y'all. Like, I mean, y'all have heard me say y'all. Gritty is so scary looking, but we love him. I don't know. Because, like, I need stealthy names for it. Because I don't want the NFL to sue me. Because I really don't have that kind of money. I barely have house money. I do not have NFL suing me money. And, like, I've got my red, white, and blue stuff. But that's for the Buffalo Bills, because the area of New York I spend a lot of time in when I do go to New York is Bills territory. He stands for rights. Yes, he is the bad thing that happens in Philadelphia. It takes orange to defeat orange. No, but oh, I don't know. Coasters in the colors. I thought of it. That's a good idea. I'd have to find the equivalent cotton yarns, because I've been using Big Twist or Hirschner's MVP for everything. If I could get some good matching cottons in that. I do need to find an alternative to the Big Twist ones one, though. But I know back when Joann's was going out of business, I just went in to the sale and bought up all the Big Twist colors I needed for my Pennsylvania beanies. So my Pennsylvania acrylic things, because that will last for, so I've got enough of that to last me for a while. But I just probably got to hit up for Lily Sugar and Cream or Peaches and Cream, find some good colors, make some coasters. Good night, Mom. I'll call you in a little bit when we're done with this square. Finish this square and then head to bed, because I am getting tired. I gotta go turn the fan on and cuddle with the cats. Right, Zuzu? Your eyes are the size of dinner plates. You've been hitting the nip. Well, hopefully this week I will not have to postpone. I should not have to postpone any lives this upcoming week. So we can go back to our regular Tuesday night lives. As long as I don't pinch another nerve. Knock on wood. Yeah, Icy Hot was my best friend all week. Yeah, don't do that. I will do my best. But yeah, owie. Yeah, coasters. I'll definitely try and consider making some Pennsylvania coasters. That'll have to come later in the fall though, because I do not have the right color green or gray. Got plenty of blue right now, plenty of white. Saw it in your neck, yeah. Plenty of blue, plenty of white. I'd need gold and gray and a darker green. Which I think I do need to put in an order from Yarn Inspirations for some Lily Sugar and Cream. I need a cone of brown and a cone of yellow because I want to make sunflower bucket hats. I don't know though, because by the time it would get here, it would not really be bucket hat season anymore. And unlike Passionate Kelsey, I do not have orders from all over the world. I cannot afford to ship to Australia. I think the only places I have shipped to so far is within Pennsylvania, New York, and Maryland. Could be a beanie. I already have Pennsylvania beanie. Well, sunflower beanie, yeah. So I already have a sunflower hat, which is white with a sunflower applique on the side. The beanie, I could do like solid white and put an applique on it. I don't know. I thought of it too late in the season, so maybe we'll shelve that idea for next spring/summer, because I don't have any customers in warm climates yet. So far, I've only shipped to 3 states. Or a granny square. I could make granny squares out of them and then sew them together and do something. I could do granny square scarves. Pennsylvania granny square scarves. Sunflower granny square scarves. And that I could do out of acrylic, so I wouldn't have to buy anything. So I try to have like a full rainbow of colors at all times. And lots of white and black at all times. Poncho, yeah, poncho would be nice. No idea how I would take pictures of it and sell it because I do not have a mannequin. But, and I am not modeling things myself. I am not a model. But yeah, a poncho could work. That would probably be a big hit in my area. We'll definitely consider a poncho. That could be like one big piece at the winter craft show I plan on doing, because I did one winter craft show last year in December where it was so cold. I did not set myself on fire like Sarah did, but I did cuddle up to the heater quite a bit. And they emailed me inviting me to apply for this year's show again when the applications go out soon. So a poncho would be a nice piece for that. And I would definitely need to get tent walls because the tent I have has no walls. Which is fine for my summer and fall shows. Because up until last year, any winter show I did was inside. Ask Kelsey for one of hers. Kelsey does not know who I am, and I would feel kind of weird to be like, hi, can I have one of your mannequins, please? Yeah, I don't think Kelsey has any idea I exist. Yep, I'm still alive. We're gonna be getting off soon, though. You're kidding. Yeah, no. I don't know. She's liked one of my stories. I tagged her in my How Many Granny Squares video, but I have no idea if she watched it or anything. She just hit the like button. I don't know. The only other YouTuber that really crochet YouTuber that knows I exist is Sarah. But I wouldn't say we're friends. We're like, we've spoken before on Instagram DMs. So I remember one of her lives, she was asking for a map of Skyrim, so I sent her a picture of my brother's official map. And I remember that one time she was having trouble with Xfinity. I DM'd her. I'm like, okay, this is what you say to them because we have Xfinity business class. Here are the magic words. But I wouldn't say we're friends. More like, yeah. Which is fine. I mean, I have friends off the computer in real life. I have crochet friends in real life. I have one friend, she's got a pretty good Instagram for her. She does the plushies. Sometimes when we do markets, we'll go together and we always put in the applications that we'd be going in as a team. We don't sneak in on each other. So no, Sarah rags on about that, but no, we usually, if we can apply to do a show together, we apply together. Because I like the traditional crochet. I don't like making plushies. She loves making plushies. She doesn't like doing the traditional crochet. So we'll team up for markets a lot. And I'll have the traditional stuff, and she'll have the plushies, and together we have the whole market cornered. What Sarah said about Xfinity. Xfinity sucks, bro. I'm just really good at bullying them on the phone. But, well, it works in my area, because in my area we do have one other option. We do have Verizon, which unfortunately is worse. But I know, I think she said Xfinity is their only option. We have two here in my area. where I am right now. The place I'm looking to buy the house actually has multiple options. And they have fiber, which is a huge thing I do consider is what are the internet options, because I would like to live somewhere that has fiber internet, because like we have fiber internet up in New York, and it's like their most basic plan up in New York, and yet it's still better than the business class I pay for from Xfinity. And my dad mostly pays for it for me, because we got business class because they were rolling out data caps on their regular residential. And my brother and I were huge gamers, and we can't do data caps. We were super gamers at the time. And at the time, my dad used to do glass blowing, and he would sell some of the things he made, because my mom was like, this house is being invaded by glassware, get it out of here. So he was able to get business class internet back then by saying, oh yeah, I'm an artist. And they're like, okay, that counts. Here's some business class internet. So I contribute a little bit of that, but because now I'm the one, he doesn't sell that stuff now, but I'm the business now. And we pay so much for business class, and it goes out at least once or twice a week. And randomly has random slowdowns, and like we're paying so much money for something that like I should not have any hiccups in my internet service for the amount of money I am paying for it. And the problem is we switched to Comcast Xfinity because Verizon was even worse. There was a time when I was in high school, we had no internet for 2 weeks. And my dad was on the phone with them every day, like, hey, we have no internet. And they kept saying it was a problem on his end. We needed to do these things to troubleshoot. And my dad's like, dude, I was a tech bro in the 80s. I've already done everything. And it took him 2 weeks, and he told them, this is exactly what you need to do on your end to get our internet fixed. And they're like, well, no, you need to do this, this, and this. And he's like, I already did this, this, and this before calling you. Again, I was a tech bro in the 80s. I know what I'm talking about. You need to go push this button on your end. And Verizon absolutely refused to do it. We had no internet for 2 weeks. Like, I would have to stay late at school every day to be able to do homework because we had no internet, and this was before cellular data became a huge thing. So it was either stay after school every day or go to the library to get my homework done. Finally, and my dad called Verizon every single day to yell at them, like, this is what you need to do. And finally, they did whatever it was that he was telling them to do. And they flipped the switch on their end, and it worked. And they're like, oh, I guess you were right. And he's like, I would like to cancel my service, please. We haven't done anything involving Verizon ever since, on principle. Mind you, the entire time my dad is fighting with these people, he's recovering from a stroke. Like, he was doing a very early adoption of telehealth at the time because he couldn't drive because he was recovering from a stroke. And my mom couldn't drive because she had been so stressed about my dad having a stroke that she developed a heart thing. So she couldn't drive. So he was doing like very early telehealth, and we had no internet for 2 weeks. So I had to stay late at school because I had no internet, and then I had to find a way to get home. So we will never use Verizon. I will never use Verizon for anything on principle. If they're the only provider in the area, I will go without. And now that I'm off my soapbox, square done. This is square number 9 of the night. We've been live for 3 hours and 15 minutes. And I'm tired. So this is it for tonight. Thank you all for coming, listening to me complain about a variety of things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon to be notified every time I post. I will be going live again Tuesday night, as long as I don't pinch my nerve again or anything else. Knock on wood. You can buy stuff I crochet on my website, smallpinecrafts.square.site. Yes, woohoo, we did it. It's linked pretty much everywhere. So, good night, everybody. Good night, Laura. Good night, Aaliyah. Good night, lurkers. Good night. Just good night, everybody. See y'all Tuesday night.